ma io...
I see he's wearing an item of clothing that I know Phil did say to me is usually confined to the bedroom. But just a couple of things. One is that I have got a question of Dave Teague, who unfortunately can't be here because he's had to go to Ireland for the weekend. It was arranged months ago. And he said, one question, the first question of the evening is, why did you never take up the banjo?
I've been licking the banjo for years.
The other one was, I rang Steve here about setting up the PA, and he said, you know, we were talking about these questions, and he said, one thing that confuses me, he said,
he's easily confused.
Yeah, he says, as he's been in the country so long, he says, how come he's never learned to speak English properly? So anyway, before he knocks me off the stage, I'll give you over to Nick Dalmedo.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Before I start, I'd like to thank you all for this. It's obviously, for me, it's awesome having a microphone and people in front of me, and I've got nobody to say, don't do that or don't say that. Remember that. Right. To get the formalities done, I've donated some things to the raffle.
That old coat.
Yeah. For years I've been coming here and watching the raffle diminish to sort of paint remover and a bar of chocolate. So I thought I'd outstage you. This is Lynn, and the cheap wine has become a wee bit of and so I'm hoping that you'll buy 2 tickets instead of 1. Just for
Nick, just say what I forgot to tell him what the raffle's for, mate, if you'd like to tell
it's for Teresa's cancer research, isn't it? Cancer
That's
research?
right, yeah. All proceeds to
all proceeds to that. Right, I'm going to tell you something about me, and then I come from Gibraltar, born in 1945. My mother died when I was 5 years old, and I was fostered out to a family. My 2 brothers were fostered out to an auntie, and my sister was fostered out to another auntie. My sister at the time was only 2, and I was 5. We grew as a family separated, and in 1959 I arrived in Edinburgh with my foster family. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell something about Gibraltar and do a couple of songs. In my memory of Gibraltar, I remember the Navy being very obvious. Sailors everywhere. In those days, they all went about in their uniforms. Thousands of soldiers and airmen and Spitfires and Mosquitoes and Sunderlands and all sorts of things. But what was more, what do you call it, visual about Gibraltar is that we used to go up to the mountains, up to the rock there, and there were trenches that the troops would use for the training, and we would play at, you know, Eddie Murphy or Doc Bogart or whatever. And I had a wonderful childhood up there, you know. If I wasn't doing that, I was down the harbour fishing and falling in the river, as they say, you know, or climbing on barges. You know, there are thousands of Navy barges. You could climb up on them and see what you could pilfer. Schooling was a bit secondary, I'm afraid, so I'm suffering the consequences of that. And religion was a bit extreme for me. My secondary school in Gibraltar was run by Christian brothers, and I'm lucky to have a left hand, you know. It was a daily occurrence, so So that sort of takes me round to telling you about the music. The music that I was brought up with was quite a mixture. We listened to British Forces radio and we listened to Spanish radio. We went to Spanish cinemas and we went to Hollywood and British cinema. So there's a whole mixture of things that bombarded my childhood. You know, it could be some black and white Spanish film or some black and white war film. But the thing that actually left its most imprint of me was Spanish cinema, because they had these women with low-cut dresses. And that made a lasting impression on me that I've never recovered from, thank heavens.
Even now he licks his lips.
Even now. Whilst I was doing some research for tonight, I actually found on YouTube some Spanish clips of films, and lo and behold, there was this film star from 1953 called Sarah Montiel. And I don't know what they did with him, but she had an aircraft carrier there, you know, and a man kissed her there. Can you imagine 1953 sitting in the cinema there, you know? So that takes you.
That's as high as I can reach as well.
That takes you almost to where I am nowadays. But then along the journey, we'll tell you a bit more, right? I'm going to do you a Spanish song called Solo, which is about a man who loses his love, and he likes to be alone, like a feral dog. That's the only way I can explain it. All right, here we go. I'll have to have a drink because my mouth is. Don't open it. This, by the way, is not a national costume for Gibraltar. This is one of my eccentricities. I actually got married in this. Don't know why, but there you are. And I don't know why I got married. There you are as well.
We know that's not true.
We've got something at the back here rattling.
I bet the registrar thought it was a gay wedding, didn't he? Phil. One of these civil unions.
There was nothing civil about my wedding, I'll tell you. Hay quien dice que hermosa es la vida, de la vida hay quien todo lo espera. Yo no tengo en mi sangre dormida ni una luz de esperanza siquiera. El planeta que importa que gire, que el lucero corteje a la luna y el amor de una madre suspire, que me importa la nana y la cuna. Solo, yo voy solo entre la gente que me mira indiferente, sin sentir curiosidad. Solo, como un perro callejero, como barca sin barquero, solo con mi soledad. Poco importa si me pierdo, por un triste callejón. No me queda ni el recuerdo del clavel y la canción. Solo como noche sin mañana, como torre sin campana, solo con mi corazón. Compañero que de mi amargura no me tiendan la mano de hermano, al que vive con esta locura, darle amor o limona es en vano. No me mire mujer ni me llore, no te sienta por mí compasiva. Pide a Dios que de aquellos amores no me vuelva a acordar mientras viva. Solo, yo voy solo entre la gente que me mira indiferente sin sentir curiosidad. Solo, como un perro callejero, como barca sin barquero, solo con mi soledad. Poco importa si me pierdo por un triste callejón. No me queda ni el recuerdo del clavel y la canción. Solo como noche sin mañana, como torre sin campana, solo con mi corazón. That's it. I should have really warmed up with that one, but it's c'est la vie. I'd like to ask John to play some maracas and maybe Nick to play some bass, if they're about. This is a song about infidelity, and perfidia means infidelity. Ooh, my number ones are on there, along with the... We Dalmedos are late for everything. So I think my funeral should be at about the age of 110 if it goes by. So here we go with perfidia. Nadie comprende lo que sufro yo. Canto, pues ya no puedo sollozar. Solo temblando de ansiedad estoy. Todos me miran y se van. Mujer, si puedes tú con Dios hablar, pregúntale si yo alguna vez te he dejado de adorar. Y el mar espejo de mi corazón. Las veces que me ha visto llorar, la perfidia de tu amor. Te he buscado donde quiera que yo voy y no te puedo hallar. ¿Para qué quiero otros besos si tus labios no me pueden ya besar? Y tú, quién sabe por dónde andarás, quién sabe qué aventuras tendrás, qué lejos estás de mí. Te he buscado donde quiera que yo voy y no te puedo hallar. ¿Para qué quiero otros besos si tus labios no me pueden ya besar? Y tú, quién sabe por dónde andarás, quién sabe qué aventura tendrás, qué lejos estás de mí, qué lejos estás. Thank you. Once we get past this little ditty of Spanish song, I'm going to ask you to stick your hand up periodically and ask questions. But I'm hoping to tell you I had quite an eventful journey from Gibraltar to Scotland. So if I tell you that after the... That reminds me of the ship that I was in. Just before it sank.
You did say ship, didn't you say?
It was a P&O Arcadia, by the way, which was in need of painting at the time. Yes. And then I realised that was the colour, and I said to my mum, it looks like the tugs down by the dockyard. Not in that accent, because that accent hadn't arrived yet. Mira, parece los remorqueros de allí, del dockyard. That's how it went. Okay? This song came to me via the Buena Vista Club, and I fell in love with it from the beginning, and then I realised it's a very sad song, as most of my numbers tonight. They're either protest or sad songs, or against the English. I've got a few. Aye. ¿Qué te importa que te ame si tú no me quieres ya? El amor que ya ha pasado no se vuelve a recordar. Fui la ilusión de tu vida, un día lejano ya. Hoy represento el pasado, no me puedo conformar. Hoy represento el pasado, no me puedo conformar. Si las cosas que uno quiere se pudieran alcanzar, tú me quisieras lo mismo que 20 años atrás. Con qué tristezas miramos un amor que se nos va. Es un pedazo del alma que se arranca sin piedad. Es un pedazo del alma que se arranca sin piedad. Raúl didn't turn up tonight to play the marimba. Si las cosas que uno quiere se pudieran alcanzar, tú me quisieras lo mismo que 20 años atrás. Con qué tristezas miramos un amor que se nos va. Es un pedazo del alma que se arranca sin piedad. Es un pedazo del alma que se arranca sin piedad. Thank you. Johnny Diego and his fingers. This song came to me via the Spanish radio, and it's called Échame a mí la culpa, and it's a man trying to be, how do you say in English, sorry for himself. Oh, yeah. A twat, yeah. And he's saying to her, blame me for the breakup of the marriage. But it's actually her. It's her that's been cheating on him. See? But see, as men are men, we don't see that as a sin because we've been sinning all the time. It's a lovely heater, that, you know. I'm going to strip off in a minute. No. We reckon that the moon is about 25 past 11. Tú sabes mejor que nadie que me fallaste, que lo que prometiste se te olvidó. Sabes a ciencia cierta que me engañaste, aunque nadie te amaba igual que yo. Lleno estoy de razón para despreciarte, y sin embargo quiero que seas feliz. y hallar en el otro mundo, en vez de infierno encuentres gloria, y que una nube de tu memoria me borre a mí. Y hallar en el otro mundo, en vez de infierno encuentres gloria, y que una nube de tu memoria me borre a mí. Dile a quien te pregunte que no te quise. Dile que te engañabas, que fui lo peor. Écheme a mí la culpa de lo que pasa. Cúbrete tú la espalda con mi dolor. Y hallar en el otro mundo, en vez de infierno encuentres gloria, y que una nube de tu memoria me borre a mí. Y hallar en el otro mundo, en vez de infierno encuentres gloria, y que una nube de tu memoria me borre a mí. Thank you. This has been my favorite song for many, many years. And the second time I heard it, it was played by Jet Harris with his 6-string bass, boom, boom, boom. And I knew the song from childhood. So I decided that for you, I would give you something that you may be familiar with. But it's one of the most awesome songs ever written. There's only a short verse and a short chorus. And they're pleading with each other, these lovers, for one more kiss. And the next day, one of them is going to go, and they know they're never going to see each other again. Yes. Bésame, bésame mucho, como si fuera esta noche la última vez. Bésame, bésame mucho, que tengo miedo en perderte después. Quiero tenerte muy cerca, mírame en tus ojos, verte junto a mí. Piensa que tal vez mañana yo estaré muy lejos de ti. Bésame, bésame mucho, como si fuera esta noche la última vez. Bésame, bésame mucho, que tengo miedo perderte después. Quiero tenerte muy cerca, mírame en tus ojos, verte junto a mí. Piensa que tal vez mañana yo estaré muy lejos, muy lejos de ti. Bésame, bésame mucho, como si fuera esta noche la última vez. Bésame, bésame mucho, que tengo miedo perderte, perderte después. Gracias. I'd worked out an instrumental for that, and then I chickened out, you know. My fingers are so tense at the moment, I couldn't. I'm going to have a break from the boys now.
See you, Nick.